Hey, what's guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. And in this video, we'll be rating all the 2021 liveries from worst to best. There's 10 cars, so we'll be rating them from worst to best. And again, personal preference, so some of you might like this car and some of you might hate this car, but this is my personal opinion. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting at number 10, we have the Haas. I don't personally like this one that much. I really liked last year's livery and the ones that they come out in the past. They weren't, the best designed liveries, but in my opinion, I don't really like this one at all. I think it's just a white car with the Russian sponsor basically all over it, and the Haas on the wing, the side pods. And yeah, this car is gonna be driven by Mick Schumacher and that guy. So yeah, and I don't know how they're gonna perform this year. They performed not that great last year, and yeah, there's not really much special about this car. It looks all right, but this car has so much more potential, really, with the American flag. It would be really cool if they kind of look like the Ford GT that they have in Le Mans. That would look really awesome, kind of that color scheme. But instead, we have a Russian car, pretty much, is what people are calling it. But again, it's just going to be at the bottom of the list for me. It doesn't stand out in any way. And moving on to number 9, we have the Alpha Tauri. Now, I put this here because, again, there's another car that has a lot of potential, but with a nice color scheme. But to me, it just looks like a military car. It honestly just looks like a military car. It's not that, I don't know, the kind of line that separates the white and that blue on the side pod just looks too soft for me, and it would be cool if it was more aggressive and wasn't matte. But it's a cool looking car. All these cars are really nice cars, but this is just gonna have to be number 8 for me. It doesn't stand out too much. And this is driven by Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. It's going to be really interesting to see how they perform this year, and I'm pretty sure they'll be competing in the midfield, but I'm not sure how many points they'll score or how good they'll do. But cool looking car as a sister team, but it's going to have to be number 9. Doesn't really stick out that much, not aggressive, and looks like a military car, like I said. But again, my personal opinion, the Honda on the back is pretty nice. But moving on to number 8, we have the Alfa Romeo. This car is actually a really nice car, and yeah, they pretty much reversed the colors from last year, but I actually do really like this car. It looks really clean with the Alfa Romeo and the cool designs on it and the red. This is actually a really nice car. Again, all these cars are really nice, but we're kind of just trying to put them in order here. But I do like this car, and I do think it is a really nice car, driven by Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi. So hopefully they'll do pretty good this season. Kimi being the oldest driver on the grid, and Antonio Giovinazzi being kind of just there. He hasn't really done too much special, but I do like the car, and hopefully they'll perform pretty decent this year. But yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty nice car with Alfa Romeo, the Orlin on the side, the sponsors kind of spread out. And coming in at number 7, we have the Red Bull. I put this here because it's just an iconic classic, a really iconic car, driven by, of course, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, the two drivers that I'm looking forward the most in 2021. Just seeing if Sergio can really pull through and really stick with him or even out-qualify him. So we'll see what happens once the season starts. It's just an iconic car with that blue and the Red Bull, and they've had this livery for a long time. I think the best thing that looks the greatest on this car is definitely the Honda logo on the wing. They got rid of the Aston Martin sponsor, and I just think that the Honda logo on the wing looks super clean, and a lot of people have been looking forward to that. And it's just a really clean looking car, really aggressive looking car. I like the nose on this car compared to a lot of the other ones. It's really clean, aggressive. Have the Red Bull across the front wing, and it's going to be really, really interesting to see Perez driving it, as he seems pretty happy and just pretty grateful overall to be in the Red Bull car. Now, coming in at number 6, I put McLaren in at number 6. I do think this car is a really beautiful car. The orange is a really nice orange, and the fact that they added just a little bit more blue on the nose, for me, just put this in the number 6 spot. That blue on the nose, you'll see in a minute, is just, it just adds a little something. Less is more, and that really changed a lot for me. The blue and the orange is a really beautiful combination of colors, and the orange it's the only orange car on the grid, and it does stand out, and it's just, I like the color orange, and that's why I put it here at number 6. Didn't change too much, but it's a really beautiful car, driven by Norris and Ricciardo. Same driver lineup as last year, except for Ricciardo, because Sainz went to Ferrari. So I think they'll do pretty good this year. Will Ricciardo do better than Norris? I don't know. We'll find out once the season starts. But two very good drivers, and I'm pretty sure McLaren is going to be doing very good this year, as they've been improving since the past couple of years. They've been doing really, really well, so pretty happy for that. In number 5, we do have the Ferrari. I put it here because it's just an iconic car. There's no car on the grid that has this really nice red, and it can be spotted from miles away, and just everyone knows it's a Ferrari. So I had to put this at least in the top 5. The only thing I don't like about it is that green. The Mission Winnow green is, it doesn't really match that well. It kind of looks like a Christmas tree, but I'm not sure why they did that at all, to be quite honest. But they did add a green, and that's the green that kind of throws it off a bit. But overall, I think the car looked great. The darker red in the back that blends in with the red in the front, I think looks awesome as well. Nice gradient there. I think that's great. I just think that green Mission Winnow kind of throws it off, and yeah, they could have done. Ferrari has a lot of potential with all the GT cars looking pretty good, but they're always going to go with that red every single season. Driven by Sainz and Leclerc, going to be pretty interesting driver lineup, and I think a lot of the teams this year have an interesting driver lineup. Coming at number 4, we do have the Mercedes. I put this number 4 because, again, it's getting to be an iconic car, and the black looks really, really aggressive with the cyan from the Petronas logo. And they did add the white in the back with the driver number, which I think looks really clean, and they made the Ineos logo a bit more red. Some people don't really like it. I personally think it's a great looking car. It's simple, it's clean, and I think they're going to perform great this year, as they always do. Driven by Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, and Bottas, who is struggling to keep up with him. And yeah, it looks pretty clean. I think it's a great looking car with the AMG added on the back. I think that looks pretty cool, kind of a sticker bomb effect. But yeah, I personally think it's a great looking car, and that's why I put it in the number 4 spot. And overall, I think it's just a really aggressive looking car. Next up, in number 3, we had to put the Williams here. I just like it. I like the way it looks. I think that there's not many sponsors on it, but it overall just looks really clean, and the lines on it look really nice. You have blue, orange, and white, and Williams always comes out with some clean looking liveries, and I think this one is a very clean one. Some people don't really like it because there's not enough sponsors on it, but I still think it's a really clean looking livery, and I think it looks great. A great looking car. And this car will be driven by George Russell and Latifi, I believe. I think I'm wrong about this, I'm not sure. I think it's George Russell and Latifi. They'll be driving this car, same as last year. And overall, a nice looking car. Some people say it doesn't. It kind of looks like a like one of those cars you can find at the store. But I think it's a good looking car, and that's why I had to put it in the number 3 spot. You can see the back kind of has that gradient with the blue, white in the front, the little orange on the side. Not many sponsors, unfortunately, but it's kind of the way it is. In the number 2 spot, we had to put the Aston Martin. From Racing Point to Aston Martin, I think this car looks gorgeous. The green is an awesome green. I kind of thought it would have been a little bit more green and less teal, but I've kind of come to like it a bit more. And the pink stripe that goes along it from the BWT sponsor is awesome as well. Sebastian Vettel and Stroll will be driving this car. Hopefully Vettel can kind of make his comeback from all the disappointing years. But the green and that pink, it looks great. I think this is a beautiful looking car, and definitely one of the cars I'll be looking forward to driving. And Aston Martin being the new team in Formula 1. So it's going to be an awesome car to see on track, and I cannot wait to see this car on track. And they've implemented the BWT quite nicely, and I think that they've done a great job of that. And the JCB is the only thing, that sponsor, only thing that doesn't match. But anyway, you can probably tell what the number 1 car is. So let me show you what I think is the best car on the 2021 grid. So as you guys can see, I decided to put the Alpine in the number 1 spot. I think this car is the best looking car on the grid. It's just an amazing looking car. I think Sean Bull Designs, he's the one who made this livery, did an amazing job with this car, and it looks really, really, really good. Definitely for me the best looking car on the grid. Again, they're all really close. The Aston Martin is very close behind them, and all the cars in general look really, really good. But this car just had to do it for me. The chrome blue, really aggressive with the red and white in the back, just blends in so nicely. The sponsors are well placed. The black nose is a nice aggressive nose with the French flag there. The blue is just a really cool, it's like a satin chrome blue, and the red in the back really blends in nice with the A for Alpine. And you have the Alpine on the wing, the Castrol, and the Castrol edge is fitting really nicely. Nice big sponsors there, and it's just a great looking car overall. It just looks really, really good. So that's going to be my list on the best liveries for 2021. If you guys think differently, let me know down in the comments down below. Hopefully you all did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.